Thanks. And here we are. Here we are, getting ready for the pull. It's a beautiful day to play Ultimate out here in Philadelphia. Right, Sasha?
Really great athletes out here today for this. Really cool to get to hang out with all of these guys. It's been really cool to get to hang out with all these guys and gals and really learn about them.
I am looking forward to this game, and here is the pull. That is a deep pull by the light team. And it is Light is clearly running a person defense, just a standard ultimate for those of you who haven't seen a game before. So if you've never seen an ultimate game, the goal here is to score on the other end from where you received the pull. As we have this break here, I do want to say that this dream started by Shawnee Crawford, and it's been 9 months because of COVID, but we're here, and we're ready for this inaugural core of the content tour. And that's a beautiful upline put. Another strike throw. This is where the teams want to get really focused to score, and they do. That's a goal for the Dark team. 1-0 if you're just joining us, just 1-0. So as we were saying earlier, we want to also give a shout out to Jasmine Childress, the 2021 Fulbright recipient, who even as we speak is in Zurich, Switzerland right now researching how parasites and their diseases affect wildlife hosts. And I tell you what, it is beautiful being out here for this ultimate Frisbee game of all black players. This is not something I've ever seen before, and it's amazing. Oh, that's a great question. I think as being a new transplant to DC and having seen a few DC Breeze games, I'm really excited to see AJ Merriman out here. But being a guy that used to live in
That I've never actually seen play before. I've maybe heard their name a few times, but never actually seen them play. And one of those being AT, Alex Thomas, here from Pittsburgh. And yeah. Ooh, also this guy, Ed Brown.
Ed Brown's a stud.
Really cool.
Ooh, that was a nice grab. It looks like Dark is still running a person defense, and White seems to be running some sort of horizontal stack. And there's a turn. Dark takes no
big huck
on waiting for that big huck for the goal. And there's a goal to Manny Coleman.
And that's from Amel Aldel Kareem there.
Awesome. It was a beautiful throw. It was perfect, perfect
great.
Backhand. For those of you looking at home, that's how you want to throw a backhand hook. That's how you want to throw a backhand hook. So one of the things that's really interesting to me about Ultimate is the in-between the points. So in between the points, you've got AJ Beard over here on the Dark team, and you can tell that she's going to tell the players who's going in and give them a little talk about what they're doing, either on defense or offense, and prepping them, whether they're going to come on a zone or a person defense. And that's just a kind of standard traditional thing that happens in Ultimate.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of like fast pace, like not a lot of time between points. You just gotta, get off the field, get back on, and keep the game going. Today's game is also being played to 15, and at 90 minutes we will have a hard cap, and we'll have a halftime with first team that gets to 8.
And the halftime, of course, will be full of. I think we have a college band coming in playing a full halftime show, a few flyovers by the Blue Angels. Are those things happening, Sasha?
Maybe in our dreams.
Okay, in our dreams? Okay. We'll have Temple University marching band will come through. There's got another pole being set up here by A.J. Merriman. The ultimate field is 70 yards long. So if he pulls it the length of the field, and he just pulled it 70 yards, and he pulled it out of bounds. So when you throw it out of bounds, you call a brick. The other team gets to take the disc and bring it center of the field and about 10 to 15 yards up. And they get a definite advantage when the other team pulls it out of bounds. Now there's a little bit of wind picking up, Sasha. I don't know if you see that. How do you think that's going to affect the offensive play here by the light team?
It's definitely going to affect the throws. It's going to make them a little more floaty. Oh, as Opie Payne puts up a big hook. And Sean Plunkett comes down with a D. Sean, out of Orlando, Florida, played with Tampa Bay Cannons this season in the AUDL, and also in college played for the UCF team. Ooh, Ed Brown with the big D.
That is defense. Quick
immediately
transition
puts it
immediately.
Oh, James Pollard
that was almost an amazing bid, but it did not work out. The dark team is looking for a quick transition initially, but didn't see it, so now they're going to throw the quick strike throw. It's a great defensive bid. And another huck. But that huck is out of bounds. That's a good effort, though. Good effort on the sideline. Defended by Trent Dillon, it looks like. I believe I have my glasses on.
Yep, that's correct. Austin Hegman trying to come down with that disc.
Nice.
Ooh, James Pollard with the big huck to Ed Brown. We got Yusuf Abdullah. Oh, big! Oh! Big layout.
Initially. And it looks like it bounced off his own knee. That's some great ultimate.
Wow, this is what we love to see. We love to see these huge highlights. And we're going to see a lot of them today from all of these players. They're all incredible.
So as Sasha was saying earlier, it looks like the dark team is setting up in a standard center vertical stack with 2 handlers controlling the disc and moving the disc while the cutters are cutting from the back. Yes, cuts from the back and clearing. The light team is playing a pretty simple person defense and also a little bit poachy. And there it comes up a D with Brown.
Big bid by Ed Brown. Told you I was excited to see that kid.
He is good.
Ooh.
A.J. Merriman says, not today, not today.
Katiana Hutchinson looking for Opie Payne in the end zone. Yusuf Abdullah with the disc. Finds Sean Plunkett up the line. He puts a big backhand. Oh!
And a score after
score.
the deflection. That's a 3-0 lead right now. Light might want to consider a timeout at this point. Each team gets 1 timeout per half, Sasha? Is that correct?
Each 1 timeout per half and a floater.
And a floater, nice. So, Sasha, how long have you been playing Ultimate?
I have been playing Ultimate competitively since about 2012.
Okay, nice. And how old were you in 2012? Now there's the real T.
19. I was 19.
Okay, so you're still young. I like that. I like that, Sasha. I have never played Ultimate competitively because I'm not that good. It's never been competitive for me. Or one could say that every single time I touch the field, I'm playing competitively.
That is true.
Because I'm always competing against myself. I've been playing since 2006, the year my son was born. I was 26 years old, so I got a late start. But I love this game. I love this game.
Hey, late starts are okay. I know a lot of these players, have been playing in high school now, on throughout the college and club ranks as well.
I know that Khalif is from Seattle, so he was playing in middle school. And Seattle holds it strong. They play all the way elementary leagues, middle school leagues. And I know that other cities are starting to do the same thing.
See AJ Beard setting the line for her team. White team is ready.
And if you notice, this is a mixed game, which means that there are men, women, non-binary people playing, but they still have what they call like a gen zone. And so the zone that the side of the end zone that the light team is on right now gets to choose the matchups. And so they have chosen the matchups, and the dark team playing defense has to match up with that matchup. That is another full field pull.
We got Jesse Bolton getting the pull from the ground. Gets it up to Christian Boxley.
They're just keeping it up the line right now. Strike after strike to a huck, to a big huck for almost a score.
Almost. We like to see it. We like to see those big throws.
So the light team is going to have to play a little shutdown defense here to keep this, but the dark team is going to be going for another break. Try to score again with their defensive line.
I believe that's Lamar Seeger on the disc.
Pick called. Pick called. Picks. When picks are called, the play is stopped. This is not basketball. Picks are not allowed. If you notice, if you're watching for the first time, this game is purely self-officiated. So the players on the field called their own call, called the pick play, and everyone stopped and discussed what was happening, decided what the stall count was coming back in on, and then reset. And that is another deep huck that Jesse Bolton decided was not going to happen today.
Jesse Bolton, of course, out of Seattle, plays for Seattle Mixtape. Also played for Sockeye for a while, played Seattle Cascades in the AUDL, and in college he played for Carleton Cut.
Carleton's in Minnesota, right?
Carleton is in Minnesota.
There's another pick called. Stops the play. Stall count coming back in on 5.
We got Corey Parker on the disc right now. Corey is a Philly local.
Is the stream up? Is it working?
Light seems to be looking for cuts, and they're not coming, but here they are. Oh, that was another great bid.
Oh, really? Is it up now?
As we're standing here in the shade commentating on this game, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty sunny on that field. There's a lot of sweating. It's a beautifully hot game. And there's another hook by Nate Little to a wide open Covington with the score. It is now 4-0. And it looks like the dark team might be pulling away. Oh, and white calls a timeout. That is a very smart timeout. That is a very smart timeout called by the white team.
Nate Little, a lefty. I believe he might be the only lefty out here. I'm not 100% sure.
I do not know. We'll have to be paying closer attention to who's throwing with their left hand. Some of these players I bet are ambidextrous in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, for sure.
Sasha, what's your favorite thing to do during a ultimate timeout?
Well, I guess it depends. I like to play games with my teammates and with the other team, in a like non-super competitive situation, I guess.
Yep.
If the game's a little more close, I like to, be with my team, talk to the guys on the sideline on what we can do on the sideline to help the people on the field better.
Yes. One of my favorite things to do on a timeout is to grab water for everybody. And I don't know why I like doing that, but just grabbing as many water bottles as possible and running them out to the 7 that are going to be joining back on the field and listening to the coach.
Yeah, I'm sure they greatly appreciate that. It's always nice to have that person on the team.
I also like to play that fun game like when I was in elementary school playing football and we called a timeout where if we weren't in, we would form a line so the other team couldn't listen to what we were saying. I love doing that in Ultimate because no one's actually listening, but it's funny just to be kind of silly like that and to form that line and be like, you can't look at us and you can't talk to us. And then if you're really feeling good, you can face the other team and kind of taunt them and have a little fun with that, make some jokes. It's always a good time.
Love it.
Dark Matters seems to be the cheer that they're saying on breaks. I believe that is their not so official team name, Dark Matters. So as we're getting ready to come out of this timeout, I do want to say that our venue for tonight's showcase is none other than the Edgeley Fields, home to both PATA, Philadelphia Area Disc Alliance, and the Pryor Cricket Club for the last 36 years, which is amazing. This site boasts 7 ultimate fields as well as a clubhouse whose maintenance the two organizations have shared for decades. There is presently a move to partially rebuild Edgeley into a football stadium that will meet the needs of local youth footballers. Following the showcase game, in addition to a cookout, players will facilitate a conversation on how best to join hands in service to both communities.
Yeah, and also shout out to PATA's incomparable director, Elena Lopez. She's been an integral part of this leg of the tour, and from hours of Zoom logistical meetings and virtual venue visits to securing scaffolding and on-the-ground setup crew and food to fuel every participant, there wouldn't be a continent without her. She's a living example of brotherly love. As White turns it over.
With great defense from Coleman and a hammer that was not successful from our host. And there's a deep pull
Big
to Trent
throw.
Dillon. He is wide open with 2 players open. Tried to get to the end zone on that catch, but did not make it. But there's the score for the light team. That's exactly what they were looking for, to bring a little energy back to their team. It all started on defense, if you notice. Some people say hammers win championships, and some people say you should never throw a hammer in the end zone. Depends on who you ask.
That was a really big throw from James Pollard.
We're not calling line, we're just calling We're just calling gender now. Oh, they're calling line.
If you can see the players discussing right now, James Pollard, who pulled that, is upset at himself for not pulling that all the way into the score. But luckily for the light team, Trent Dillon easily came up with it and had 2 amazing players coming up with him to make the easy assist. And Trent said he wanted the assist anyway, so it works out for him.